Mr. Desi. Arnaz, thank you. I heard you singing along there.
Yeah, good stuff.
No rehearsal either.
No. What is it? We're wide awake when we hear that stuff going.
So you approve of our Detroit Latin sound?
Yes, sir. Very
good.
So.
Good. I see this hat on your knee here.
This is the Ricky hat. That's quite a story. I bought it first when I got out of the Army in 1946. The American Army, that's it.
The American Army, okay.
And I wore it in every one of the Alahusa shows that we ever made.
Is that the same one that I saw?
That's the Ricky hat.
That's something.
Lucy, I'm home.
Okay, Ricky. You know, I watched that show. I grew up with that show right here in Detroit. And it's a very nostalgic thing for me to look through your book and see all the pictures, you and Lucy, and the kids so little, you know, after seeing them and growing up. But, you know, since some time you've been divorced now, 17 years. 17 years, yeah. And a lot of us wondered what happened. What went wrong? What was it?
I don't know. Who knows? You know, I guess we were working too hard, too long. You know, that for the first 10 years we were married, I was in the Army, she was making pictures. Then I was with a band, and she was making pictures. So we were on the phone all the time. We weren't together very much.
Yeah.
Then we started working, and we were together too much. So neither one of them is too good, you know.
Yeah. It's hard to strike a balance.
3,000 people working for me. I was working 18 hours a day. I wanted to sell the whole thing and get out of there and spend more time with the kids. But it didn't work out that way. But we're still very dear friends, and we got the two best Desi productions we ever put together. Turned out to be pretty nice.
Lucy and Desi. In fact, they're going to tour together, aren't they, this summer in a show? Or are they going to do that?
I read the same thing, but I don't see how they can because they're both working very hard on their own. Lucy just finished a picture with Tom McLaughlin called Big Jack Goes to Washington.
That's right. She was in D.C.
And Desi just got a part in the new Robert Altman picture, The Wedding, which is the best break he's got in the movie, because it's a big movie. I know Altman's always does good movies, you know, Robert Altman.
Yes, Robert Altman.
It's called The Wedding. I know I talked to him just before I left California, about a week ago, I guess, or 10 days. I lose track of where I am and how long I've been going on this
You've been on quite a tour, haven't you?
Yeah, well, it's been a lot of fun, Captain. People are so nice every place, you know, like part of the family, you know.
But it's a departure from your rather relaxed lifestyle at Del Mar in California, near the beach.
Yeah, I'm the original lazy Cuban, you know.
I can't believe that after reading your book.
Yeah, but I was doing it on the process all the time. the beachcomber I heard.
You've been remarried now to Edie for the last 14 years.
That's right. We just celebrated our wedding anniversary.
Now, is she into show business at all?
No, she's never been in show business. As a matter of fact, I met Edie before I met Lucy, long time ago.
Is that right?
Oh, she was a doll. She was a cigarette girl, Santa Anita.
Yeah? The racetrack.
You put a lot of Santa and Ava Garner together, and she beat them both. And I tried everything I could, Kathy, to get to first base with her.
Years ago, you mean? Before you met Lucy? And what happened?
I never did. I used all the best lines that I had and everything. Never score.
What were some of those best lines? Tell me one of those good
lines. Would you like to learn how to Roomba, all that kind of stuff, you know?
Where? Where do we go? I love it. I don't know how.
25 years later, that finally score. After I married her.
After?
Yeah, 25 years later. I told her, I said, you crazy kid. I said, you could have had me at my best.
Who's to say when's the best, right?
Really?
You just had a birthday.
Yeah, 6-0. Isn't that awful? How did I get there so fast?
Look at what you've done. Look at what you're doing. And you can't tell. It's on the mind, isn't it?
It looks like it was a couple of years ago that we did the show about Desi being born.
Yeah.
And he was just 24.
Yeah.
Scares you. Yeah. Times go so this guy's worried about Saccharin. I'm worried about how long I'm going to be here.
How about Lucy? Do you see her? Do you keep in touch?
Big Lucy?
Yes.
Oh,
Big
sure. She, you know, I have a regular thing that I've been doing it all my life, and I still do it. On our anniversary, her favorite flowers are red and white carnations.
Okay.
So I still send her red and white carnations on my anniversary.
Do you?
Sure.
Did you this year, or will you?
Oh, sure, I did. November 30th.
But how does...
Gary doesn't like it.
Yeah, how does Gary Morton react to that, I wonder?
I could care less what
You don't get along too well, obviously.
Oh, yeah, we get along fine, but I don't care what he thinks.
I was really interested to find out in your book that your father was the mayor of Santiago.
Yes.
And yet he was chased from the city, so to speak, by anarchists and all that. And you had really tough times in Miami when you migrated here. You lived in a warehouse, and had to really pull yourself up by your bootstraps and get that job, and then you were discovered by Xavier Cugat.
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah, my father was the mayor of my hometown, and my uncle, his brother, was the chief of police. So we had that town pretty well wrapped
You
up.
had it wrapped up.
For a while, anyway.
Yeah, that must have been quite a start.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you find it, or did you find, as you were going along in your show business career, that you drew on that experience, you had the poverty and all that? It must have been very difficult. Did that give you a good
Yes.
basis,
Yes, I think so. If it hadn't been for that, I got a very good philosophy, I think. I think everything happens for the best. At the time that it happens, sometimes you're ready to jump out of the window.
Sure.
But sometimes it turns out for the best. If the revolution hadn't come at the time, I would have never got in the show business, and I don't know what my life would have been the other way. I was going to be a lawyer. I was going to go to Notre Dame Law School. But my father was completely wiped out during the revolution, and I was only 16, so I never did go to college at all. So I started cleaning bird cages and killing rats in the warehouse, and then eventually I got a job with a little group down there called the Sigourney Septet fellows. I don't know why they call it a septet. There was only 5 of them.
Well, we'd like to hear much more about that. We're going to open the phone line shortly.
All right.
298-4300. As a matter of fact, you can call right now. When we come back, we'll take some phone calls. Desi Arnaz will be answering. So stay with us. It's coming in hot and heavy, so shall we take one?
Sure.
Okay.
Good
morning, you're on the air. Do you have a question?
Yes, my name is Ana Maria Gowan, and I'm a Cuban, needless to say. And I want to know if Desi went to school with my brother in Los Escolapios de La Habana.
No, yo fui al Colegio de Dolores en Santiago de Cuba.
Oh, mi hermano siempre dice que él lo conoce a usted.
No, porque yo no fui al colegio en La Habana.
Oh.
Yo fui al colegio en Santiago de Cuba. Y de allí, cuando llegó la revolución, entonces vine a Miami, Florida. When they started boom, boom, boom with the revolution, yo estaba running. Y cuando llegué a Miami, estaba todavía corriendo. Still running.
¿No volvió más nunca a Cuba?
A Cuba, sí. Cuba, cuando World War II. Yo estuve allá en Guantánamo Bay.
Mi hermano también.
Yeah, with the American Army, not Fidel's Army.
No, not Fidel's Army, for heaven's sake. My brother is now a colonel in the United States Air Force.
Oh, that's better than I did. I was only a staff sergeant.
He's now a colonel. Well, thank you very much, Desi. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Muchas gracias, compatriota,
Muchas gracias, señor.
¡Viva Cuba!
¡Viva Cuba!
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you very much. We have a brief translation.
Okay.
Do you want to know if her brother went to school with you?
Yeah, in Havana, and I never went to school in Havana, so
So that answered it. And all that long talk was, I never went to school in Nevada.
Well, it's the other thing.
Oh, okay. I don't know, you're too much. Good morning, you're on the air. Do you have a question?
Yes, I was wondering if Desi Arnaz would ever get together with Lucille Ball again to do a TV special from the I Love Lucy series, but in this day and age.
Wouldn't that be nice? Want to answer that one?
Well, I'd love to do it. If she wants to do it, I'm ready.
Good. I hope you...
I love Lucy very much still. We're very good friends, and she's the best gal that I can think of to work with, so I'll be very pleased if she wants to do it and somebody wants it, I'm ready.
That I Love Lucy.
After I go fishing for it a while.
Oh, you need it after this long haul you've been on. You've been on this tour for...
Well, right now 10 days, but I got about 30 days to go, yeah.
And you're telling me over the weekend you had to crown a queen in Florida?
In Tampa, yeah. They have this yearly Latin fiesta. It's a big event on there, you know. So they gave me an award as the worst Latin, the best Latin or something, I don't know. And I crowned the queen. Beautiful gals over there, and they had a big fiesta in the auditorium, and they had a big dinner, and everybody had my book. So I signed books all through dinner. I just got to eat the soup.
You lose a lot of weight on this tour, do you?
Well, I lost a lot of weight after I wrote the book because I put weight when I was writing the book. You know, you didn't sit down there for 2 years. But I'm back to my Ricky weight now.
Back to the Ricky weight. Well, that's a good feeling.
Nice and trim Cuban hair.
Oh, yeah. Wonderful. Do you play with the band?
You like the microphone go?
No, I think the group might like it, but I think I'll pass it. I'm shocked to see
That's what the guys on Saturday night, I did that show, you know, they were kidding me. They said, oh, Acapulco Go.
Do you get together with the group every once in a while just for fun still?
Remember the band?
Yeah.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, one of the things that I am going to do after the tour is we're going to make a new album of the most popular songs from the I Love Lucy shows.
Oh, are you?
And one of the, fellas, you got to get that number. One of the big disco number now is the I Love Lucy thing. I didn't make it. Yeah, the I Love Lucy thing is done with the new salsa beat. Like the guys were playing there.
The salsa sound is very in now.
And it makes a good number. It's very popular.
Very good.
Yeah. I wish I had made it. Right? I'll make it in this album.
Are you're happy, I'm sure, that both Desi and Lucy have shows in show business, or do you have any feelings of regret that they have?
No, we got a wonderful relationship. Desi is my best friend, and so is my daughter. And we just, I just give them whatever advice they want when they ask me for it, and I help them in whichever direction they want to go. But they went into this on their own, and they're very hard-working kids, and they've done very well, and obviously I'm very proud of both of them.
I'm sure you are. And you were a very hard worker, too, raised in Cuba and migrating here and doing all that. But I was interested in one part of your book where you talked about your early experiences with birds and the bees, so to speak, and your awakening about all of that. And you capped it off by saying that in the end you learned most of what you learned at a local lady of the evening spot. And then you went on to say that perhaps this would not be a bad idea for parents to send their sons there to learn, because these were very clean women, and it was an accepted thing. But you said, of course, that we don't really accept that in the States. But would you advocate that if we did? Would you send your son to a place like that?
Oh, I think it's a lot better than they're going around on their own and getting sick all the time.
Mm-hmm.
There's DD all over the country, and they don't know what they're doing, and they start when they're awful young, And, my uncle took me, how did you call it? The Ladies of the Evening Home?
Oh, it's a morning show, and I like to say.
Lou Gordon called it something else like that.
Well, Lou Gordon and I, we aren't on the same track, Desi. He does the nighttime stuff. I'm an early morning person.
Well, he got me all right. He said that when I was playing on the Starlight Roof, I used to go to these Ladies of the Evening Home, that you call it.
Yes.
And I said, well, first of all, I never played the Starlight Roof, and second, the Ladies of the Evening Home that I went to was Polly Adler's, not the one that you mentioned.
So he had the wrong roof and the wrong home.
Both the place where I worked and the whole house. I mean, the Ladies of the Evening Home.
Got it. I was waiting for you to say it. Anyway, you do think that it would not be a bad idea. You might have sent your son there if that was.
Well, either take him there myself.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I think it's a lot better than not knowing what they're doing.
Yes. We have another call. Good morning, you're on the air. Do you have a question?
Yes. Hello, Desi. How are you?
How are you?
Fine. I have the same accent you do. Can you recognize it?
What is it?
What did you say, please?
I said I have the same accent that he does. Can you tell?
You speak better than I do.
Oh, no, I don't. I'm Cuban, too. I'm from Havana.
Oh, I don't. I got the I don't. Yeah, you say it the same way I do. Okay.
Thanks, make fun of it. Anyway, I want to know, what is their opinion on, now that they're letting American citizens go to Cuba? Of course, there's no way of getting their airlines. But what do you think about this? Did you agree on it?
Well, I'll tell you, my first reaction to it was that if everything works out and they do get it straightened out and they go there and everything is fine, I would like to have my children see Cuba because they've never seen it. I'd like to take them to Santiago and see the place where I was born and show them all the beautiful spots and the beautiful beaches on there. And that's my first reaction was that it would be a good opportunity for Lucy and Desi to see it.
Yeah, I bet it would be.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll be able to sometime.
Thank you.
Let's see, band is warming up over there, I think. They're getting ready to do another number. I wish that you would go over and sing with them, but I guess you won't.
Well, if I known they were going to be here, we could have brought a couple of charts and done it.
After your tour, then you plan to go back and cut that album, is that?
Yes,
right?
I love music, and one of the things I miss most is music.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited about it.
Well, we're excited about your book, and we have it right here. It's just called, very simply, A Book by Desi Arnaz. And you're going to be at Northline Center, I understand, at the bookend autographing.
Right, this afternoon.
You autograph an awful lot on this tour, don't you?
Yeah, but the people are so nice. It's like, it feels like family,
Yes,
They're very patient, and they stand in line, and we have a ball. They ask all about the kids and everything, and we try to make it fun, instead of just a drag.
Well, it's been fun having you here. I want to thank you for being with us, Desi Arnaz.
Thank you,
A real pleasure to meet you, and a real pleasure to have our group with us today, too. The El Combinacion, which plays nightly at the El Sol downtown in Detroit, but they're making a supreme sacrifice to be with us this morning, and they have another number.
KBC, the Kaiser Broadcasting Company.
Good evening. Welcome to our unrehearsed, spontaneous, and informal program. As always, no teleprompters, no cue cards, no idiot boards, no reruns. Just plain ad-lib conversation in which we try and tell it like it really is. With me, my dear wife, Jackie.
Good evening. If you have a question that you would like Lou to answer for you, or perhaps a question about an interview, or a question or a comment about the show in general, then, call us. The phone number is 356-2300. The telephones are open every Saturday and Sunday night between 7 o'clock and midnight. And if you have a question during the week, call 444-8500. I'm glad I stumbled through that. Who's on the show tonight, Lou?
Desi Arnaz, or Ricky Ricardo, whichever way you know him best. We'll talk about how he rose from being a freelance birdcage cleaner after leaving Cuba or being kicked out to the leading producer of TV series in Hollywood. We'll find out why the number one family of the 1950s broke up, why it was best that he got a divorce from his former wife, Lucille Ball, and why he still loves Lucy. One of the prolific entertainers in the history of television. His marriage and business partnership with Lucille Ball gave us the most successful situation comedies in the world. As the head of Desi Productions, he pioneered the concept of filming a program before a live audience and went on to produce The Untouchables, The Twilight Zone, Danny Thomas, December Bride, and a host of other programs. Mr. Arnaz has written a book about his life simply entitled A Book. Desi, it's nice to have you here. And when you came in, you had a cigar in your mouth and a hat in your hand, and I explained to you that we don't allow people to smoke on the show, and you were kind enough to get rid of the cigar, but you said there's a story to that hat, and you told me, and I'd like you to tell our viewers what the story is.
Oh, yeah, well, Lou, you know I was in the Army for a while, the United States Army, by the way. When I got out of the Army, I bought this hat. It was like 1946. And then when we started doing I Love Lucy in 51, I thought it'd be a pretty good hat for Richard to wear. Yeah. So I wore this hat in every of the Lucy shows that we did. And now it has become kind of my good luck charm. You know, I won't fly without it. It's 31 years old. I think it's holding up a lot better than I am.
Is it kind of a passive security blanket for you, too?
I guess so. You know, kind of like people wear things that are on their necks or something. The other day, I lost about 3 of them in a car, and I'm so glad that they didn't steal that one, you know.
I was thinking the other day, I read that you, after 17 years, you still send Lucy flowers each year on your wedding anniversary. Doesn't her husband object to that?
I couldn't care less.
She likes the flowers, though, eh?
No, I don't think he does. As a matter of fact, I just had a birthday, you know.
60th birthday.
See? 6 old.
Yes, I understand.
How did I get there that fast?
I don't know, but you managed to. Got a lot of mileage on your tires, too, haven't you?
You're not kidding. I talked to her. She sent me red and white carnations for my birthday.
But you send her flowers every year on the anniversary?
Well, that's a thing that's been going on. You know, we were married for almost 20 years. 20 years, actually. 1940, we got divorced in 1960. And that's 17 years since we've been divorced, so that's been going on all the time.
That's great. Well, I want to come back to that, but I want to move on to some other things, if we can, briefly, to get kind of your life picture, which I think is an incredibly interesting one. You're from a wealthy Cuban family, and your father was the mayor of the town, Santiago, I believe. What happened when the communists took over Cuba, and how did you get to the United States? You got here before Castro took over.
Oh, yeah, long before.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Castro comes from my hometown.
That's right, Santiago.
Yeah, he's younger than I am. He's about 5 years younger than I am. And he went to school in Santiago. Yeah, my dad was mayor of the hometown for about 10 years, and his brother was the chief of police of the same town.
Your father or Castro?
No, when my dad was mayor, my father's brother was the chief of police, Manuel. We had that town pretty well wrapped up.
Wrapped up for what?
Between the mayor and the chief of police.
You can do anything you wanted to do.
Yeah. But then, like you say, the revolution came, and my dad was the first. He was like the mayor when he was 23 years old. He was the youngest mayor he ever had. And he was the first guy to put a communist in jail. In those days, he used to call them Bolsheviks. And when this thing happened, like it usually happens on those things, or the terrorists, or the anarchists, or they call them, or Bolsheviks in those days, they call them, they take advantage of these things, and it was a mess. He was, some historians call it as bad as the French Revolution. And he just was wiped out completely. 48 hours he was wiped out.
Your father?
Yeah, my father. He was completely wiped out. All his properties, everything.
My wife and I were in Cuba the first year after Castro took over, and I remember that we called them the babudos, who were walking all around with rifles slung over their shoulders. Anyway, tell us about your first job as a canary cage cleaner, freelance, when you came here.
I can see you read the book.
You better believe it.
Well, that was a very interesting job.
I imagine so.
Yeah, very. I had some beauties in the country, you know.
You think that was the best you had?
I think that was the most unique.
All right. Tell us about that.
This guy was a fellow, his name was Whitehouse, just like the Whitehouse was married to a Cuban lady. And his hobby was raising canaries. And I guess they were very prolific because he wound up with a garage full of canaries, you know. So he had a good idea. He thought he'd buy a bunch of cages for the canaries. And he would put cages in each of the drugstores in Miami Beach, and Coral Gables, with a canary inside the cage, on consignment. The drug is signed a cage, you get a piece of the action, and so forth. My job was to go around all the drugstores, Miami Beach, and Coral Gables, clean the cages and feed the canaries. And I got $15 a week on my dinner.
You smell bad after a day's work?
No, but I hate canaries.
All right. How did you wind up going from a canary cage cleaner to an orchestra leader?
All right. About the same time, you know, like, rumba wasn't very popular in those days. You know, I think the crew guy was about the only one around, and he would give a lot of time.
He gave you one of your first breaks.
Yeah, right after this, next up, the guy that was in Miami at the time, you remember the Ronnie Plaza in Miami?
Of course I remember it very well. I stayed there just before I went into service.
Yeah, it was the greatest hotel in Miami Beach.
20th and Collins, I think.
23rd.
Yeah.
That was the last hotel on the beach. Now it goes all the way down to...
Right.
The next one was the Dovio, about, I don't know how many blocks away. Anyway, this guy used to sell numbers. You know what the numbers, to play the numbers?
Sure.
And he used to sell numbers to the guy that was the president of the Senate in Havana. I was going with his granddaughter. And he knew that my dad had lost everything. He was fortunate. He had put some money in the United States, the old jet. And this guy used to sell him the numbers all the time. And on the side, he had a little band for the Siboney Septet. I don't know why he called it Septet. It's only five guys, but he called it a Septet anyway. I guess he's selling more. I don't know. Seven, he's supposed to be, right? Only five, but he called it Siboney Septet. Anyway, he asked the old gent whether he knew any Cuban that could play the guitar. And said, you know, I used to come over to the house, and he used to buy me dinner, and I'd go with the granddaughter, and he's always a guitar around. Most Cubans sing and play the guitar. You know, so he said, yeah, there's a young kid here, you know, he came from Cuba, and he's going around cleaning canary cages and something. He may like do that.
You wound up with a job.
So I went over and gave an audition. They got me $5 a night, 7 nights a week, and $4 for the tea dancers.
So that was big money.
39 instead of 15 for the canaries. So I went in the band business.
Now, Xavier Cugat gave you a break,
there.
but he also tried to gyp you on the salary, and Bing Crosby had to step in to save you from being ripped off by Cugat.
Well, you know, Cugat is very psycho. In Cuba, no, muy duro. He don't like to pay nothing. And but he saw me at that Ronnie Plaza, one of those sea dances, and he offered me a job with the band. So I went with the band, gave me $25 a week. And my dad almost blew his top. He said, how can you go? You know, I said, look, I said, like going to school. As long as I'm in this racket, this guy has the biggest band in the world. And at that time, he was the most famous of all. I said, what's the difference, you know? So I went with Cugat, and then Bing, he was inside, I told him, he asked me how much I was making, and I told him, and he got Cugat over his ride. He was having a couple of drinks with me. Bing was. He said, how much you cook? You pioneer, what are you paying this kid? He told me he's paying him $25 a week. I said, well, you know, bingo. He said, don't give me that bingo routine. And give him a raise, you know. So anyway, Cugat, he's always looking for an angle. He asked Bing, I said, will you sing a couple of songs with the band? So Bing got up on the stand, started over, and sang all night with us. You know, that Cugat, you know, he's a big feather in Cugat's cap.
So how much did Cugat raise you to?
30.
as an aside for a moment, we've got to move along here because there's so much I want to cover with you.
Yeah.
You say Hugo's tough. He's married to this incredible young woman, Charo.
Charo, yeah.
How does he manage to handle her? Does he not try? Do you still
I
see
don't
Hugo?
know.
You still see Hugo?
Yeah, I just saw him a few months ago, and
he's in pretty bad shape, I understand.
well, he had to go his leg or something. He was carrying a cane, but he just opened a new restaurant.
He did.
Yeah, and he went to Japan to do some one-nighters, and it's unbelievable, And Charo, she's something. She's, Coogie used to bury the money under the ground. He don't believe in banks.
Really?
Yeah. So Charo is digging up the whole backyard. He's just planting a vegetable garden. I said, like hell you're planting a vegetable garden. You're looking for Gulgat's money.
Did you ever find it?
Not yet, but she's still digging on that.
All right. This is the one and only Desi Arnaz or Ricky Ricardo. Desi, how did you meet Lucille Ball?
When I first came to Hollywood, I did a play on Broadway called Too Many Girls. Then RKO was the right, and I was one of the ones in the cast. Eddie Bracken and myself were picked out of the cast to come and do the...
Well, what was Lucy doing then?
Lucy was doing a picture with Maureen O'Hara called Dance Girl Dance.
Weren't you in love with another girl at the time named Freckles?
Yeah, Freckles, yeah. Everybody wants to know who Freckles was.
Have you told anybody?
I haven't told anybody, no.
You're not going to tell anybody?
I don't know, Lou. Maybe we can now.
Why don't we tell him? For the first time. Let's reveal it all right here tonight.
Renee DeMarco.
Renee DeMarco. She was a great dancer, wasn't she? And you're really in love with her.
Very much.
When you saw Lucy, was it love at first sight or you didn't like each other at all? She didn't like you, as I recall.
At first sight, no, because she was supposed to, the part that she was playing Too Many Girls was that of an ingenue. Yeah. And you remember the old ingenues in the musical comedy, the virginal blue eyes things,
Yeah.
You can think of taking in any place without the marriage license and everything.
I understand.
And she had just finished doing this burlesque queen scene in which she had this big fight with Maureen O'Hara. And when I first met her, she dressed as a burlesque queen. She had a black eye. Half of her clothes were torn off. And they introduced me to her, and they said, this is the girl that's going to play the engineer. I said, you're out of your mind, Mr. Abbott. How can she be the engineer? And then that afternoon, she came back for the rehearsal, and she had a pair of flats and a lovely yellow sweater, and she was a blonde then, with a big blue eyes. And I said, boy, that's a hunk of woman. And they said, you met her this morning. I said, no, I never saw her before. I said, sure, let's go see a ball. And, I liked her very much right away. So I used a horrible, corny line. I said, how would you like to learn how to Roomba?
That's what you use then instead of come up and see my etching.
Yeah, that's pretty corny, how would you like to learn how to Roomba, She says, well, I don't know how to do it. I said, well, you may have to learn now that you're going to be in this picture. And anyway, we went out that night, and we were married 6 months later.
Did you fall in love with her right away?
Yes, I did.
And you forgot about Renee DeMarco immediately?
Yes, and I called Renee.
And you said, I'm in love.
Because she's wonderful, and she was straight down, like I say in the book. I said, the nicest woman I've met in my life. And I said, I don't know how this happened. I can't believe it. And she says, well, things like that happen. And I said, everything happens for a reason.
All right. Now, who conceived the idea of the I Love Lucy show?
Actually, because we wanted to work together. And we were married for 10 years. And between my band business, and then I was in the Army 3 years, and then back in the band business, and Lucy was making motion pictures, we were never together. We never had a child until about 10 years. So we were looking for something that we could do together and stay home.
Now, you write that William Frawley was a heavy drinker who played with you in I Love Lucy, who couldn't stand Vivian Vance, and when you cast her for the part of Ethel, Frawley said, quote, where the hell did you find this bitch, end of quote. But they eventually got along okay, didn't they?
Well, Bill was a lovely guy, I didn't say he was a heavy drinker. What happened was that he hadn't done anything for a long time. But I remember him from those Cagney pictures, those old Warner Brother pictures, and with Pat O'Brien and that. And the agencies and the networks and the sponsors, they kept knocking this guy down. And said, you're going to have nothing but trouble with him. He has a problem with liquor. So forth and so on. I didn't know he had any problem with it.
And you had no problem with him in the thing?
Not one iota.
Now, I Love Lucy was the first program to reach 10 million viewers in this country.
Yeah, that's today. That's nothing.
And enjoyed the highest ratings on television for a number of years and still gets good ratings on stations like this. Do you still get residuals?
No, we sold everything out. I sold everything out to CBS.
For how much? 24 million?
No. Lucy and I sold the rights to I Love Lucy for 4.5.
4.5 million.
But I allowed us to buy RTO and to make.
Then you went on from there.
Yeah.
When Lucy became pregnant, CBS and two of your sponsors wanted to cancel the show because of the pregnancy notion wasn't allowed on television.
Can you believe that
It's hard to believe today when they show everything.
Yeah.
And a pregnant woman wasn't allowed on television. How did you manage to change that?
Well, you got to say this. They wouldn't let us use the word pregnant. Now, today they showed you how you get in that condition.
Yes, visually.
Yes, visually. Well, the chairman of the board, Philip Morris, Mr. Lyons, Alfred Lyons, was a wonderful guy.
And you write about that in your book.
Yeah, I do. And he said, now, and I said to him, I said, now.
He was your sponsor.
Yeah. And I told him, I said, now they're telling me what not to do. I said, then you're paying the money, but tell them to tell me what to do. And then he sent him a memo, which we cannot say in the air. No. But don't fool around with a Cuban with the memo.
Didn't say fool around.
Yeah.
But it began with that.
Right.
Now, you write at the height of your empire in 1959, you grossed $20 million, but only showed a profit of $250,000. What happened?
Correct. The whole...
Bad management?
The economics. No, the economics of the business was going crazy. At the beginning, it was fun, and you could do new things. The big major studios weren't in it. And you could make a profit the first time around. And then when the big majors, the MGM, the 20th Century Fox, Warner, Columbia, they all came in, they all started selling for less than it cost them. Just to be able to take the stockholders that they had 2 or 3 shows of television because they were all dying anyway. They should have got the news to television a long time before that. And it didn't make any sense, Lou. I mean, you would make a show, and if you sold it, and it went on the air for 3 years, and then it was successful in syndication, you may get even.
No, that doesn't make
to me, I said, I'm even now.
Is that when you began to drink heavily because of the pressure of running the largest studio in Hollywood and having difficulty making money, despite grossing all this?
Well, maybe I drank a little more heavy. Or few and drink too.
You always drink. You still drink a lot?
No.
You drink at all?
Yeah.
Would you admit that you drank a lot? On the air?
Oh, sure. Okay. Oh, yeah. And you know what I'm on now? I have a few beers and little wine.
When you married Lucy, your friends said it wouldn't last 2 weeks. And your marriage was a tempestuous one for both. At the Starlight Room of the Waldorf Astoria, you frequently had affairs with prostitutes and other women. Did you keep seeing other women while married to Lucille Ball?
No, that was before Lucy.
Oh?
You're talking about Polly Adler.
Yeah.
And it was not the Starlight Room. It was La Conga. And it was way before I was married to Lucy.
It was before?
Way before.
Okay, but you told me beforehand that the last guy that interviewed you, you said he should find it in the book or you're going to make him read it or eat it.
That's right, because if he wasn't right, he'd read the page.
Okay.
And I don't want you to read the page.
No, I'm going to have my researcher look at that when I go on and ask you something else. Find that for me.
It isn't.
All right. You were both making millions of dollars at that time.
Polly Adler is what I was doing, Too Many Girls on Broadway.
All right. Look to me, Desi. You were both worth millions. The pressure was getting to you. Why didn't you sell out and give up the 14-hour work that was days that were driving you to drink and destroying your marriage?
Well, I did sell out.
Why didn't you give it up?
I sold out to Lucy. I wanted to sell out together.
All right.
I sold out to Lucy.
Lucy in the show, you would never do such a thing, huh? Well, honey, you were wrong. If she had caught me in bed with a girl, unless it was right in the middle of the act, I would have jumped out and demanded to know how that girl got in there. Thank God she never did, or I wouldn't be writing about it today.
That's way before that has nothing to do with whorehouses or anything. No. Wait a minute. No.
All right.
No, lover boy.
You want to put your hat on now?
You're talking about Polly Adler and you're talking about whorehouses, and they have nothing to do with it.
All right.
This is when I called her to find out how we got divorced 17 years ago.
Give me the book. All right, I want to listen. I want to ask
Don't misquote me, Lou. I don't
mind
if you say, hey, the book. You don't like, but don't misquote me.
Desi,
I love that girl.
I know you do. Tom Moore of ABC convinced you that The Untouchables the story about the mafia and the mafia and the organized crime would be a hit. And you hired Walter Winchell to be a narrator. And he's a guy that almost ruined Lucy's life by calling her a communist or words to that effect.
Well, he printed a blind item.
Yeah. Why would you hire Winchell after he did that to Lucy?
Because he was the best guy for the job.
And the fact that he did that to Lucy didn't make any difference?
Not at all.
At the
He
end
was the best man for that job at that particular time, and Lucy got mad at me and says, look, honey, that's gone. I want that guy in there because he's going to give this thing the reality that I want. That's all.
Lucy's career is still going strong, if she would want it to go strong. I mean, she still is very, very successful and very wealthy. Would it be fair to say, and you more or less, are not doing that great?
I don't want to work that hard.
All right. Would it be fair to say that she was a stronger talent than you and that she needed you more? You needed her more than she needed you?
Well, I think she's the greatest talent in the world.
But would it be fair to say that you needed her more than she needed you?
I would presume so. I certainly don't think that I would have been as good without her.
What are you doing now besides traveling around flogging your book?
Fishing, playing golf, enjoying my children.
How old are you?
Enjoying my new wife.
How old are your children?
Well, Desi was just 24, and Lucy will be 26 this next summer.
What are they doing?
They're doing great.
Are they in the business?
He just got a big break. He got started in a new Robert Altman picture. She just finished a picture with Tom McLaughlin, Billy Jack, Mr. Washington. Which, you remember Mr. Smith, Mr. Washington?
Yes, with James Stewart.
She got the Gene Arthur part.
Great.
Which is a big break for her. Yeah.
Desi, before you go, this book is a good book, and it's available in paperback, and I'm going to show it to our viewers now. Its title is the book, but it's really a tell-all. I mean, you really laid it out cold. I mean, stories and all. Why did you write it? Did you write it for therapeutic purposes, to get it all out, or did you write it because you had emotional problems? Did you ever go to a psychiatrist?
No, I never did.
You never went to a psychiatrist? You ever go to a marriage counselor?
No.
You never tried any of those? Did you ever go to a psychologist?
No. I went to confession.
That's it. The name of the book, ladies and gentlemen, is a book in paperback by Desi, Arnaz, and it's been a pleasure having you. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
What a great time.
Lucy says the show must go on and schemes to take Ricky's place on stage when he loses his voice. That's I Love Lucy, next, right here on Channel 50. KBC, the Kaiser Broadcasting Company.
WKBD-TV, Channel 50, Detroit.